Hello everybody and welcome back to another video, and I'm really excited about today's video because you probably already know this from the title and thumbnail and all that stuff, but there we have it. E36 is finally getting some coilovers. Coilovers I got for my E36 were not the most expensive in the world, but they are 16-way dampening. They have camber plates on the fronts. They go really low, and so this is the brand here. Why is it backwards? Max Speeding Rods is the brand. They cost me $800 Canadian. I've heard pretty good things about them, so I'm really excited to try them out. So enough talking, we gotta get to work to put these things in. I'm gonna start with putting the rears in, and also I actually picked up a couple more things I'm not gonna disclose yet. But one of them is pretty big for the car, and the other one is just kind of a little add-on. So let me know in the comments what you think I got in that box. Let's get to work on putting these coils in. Let's start with the rears, and then we'll move on to the fronts because those are a little more exciting with the camber plates and getting all that dialed in. So start with the rears, I'll show you how it's done. Alright, now that you've got your wheel off and your car jacked up and a jack stand under it, next step is to go back here, and I'm apologize because it's really dark in here, but you're gonna have to bear with me here. There's two of these 13mm bolts on either side of the strut tower. Undo those, come down here, and that is an 18mm there holding the bottom of the strut in. Undo that guy. Your whole strut assembly here will come out, and we'll move on from there. So this is just kind of everything that came with them. My coilover kit. We got the two fronts here. So these guys, camber plates, so you can slide and adjust the camber. This here is a dampening adjustment knob. There's 16 settings to go through on that. These guys are the rear replacement shocks. They also have the dampening on them. Adjustable rear shocks there. Obviously these are adjustable too. These guys are the rear springs and the rear spring perches that are adjustable. So my plan is to just have the springs as low as I can go and adjust them from the shocks, and then they give you the tools to adjust, a little card for whatever. Old strut, new strut. So we have the old strut out of there. Now, for you guys with stock rear suspension already, this is definitely going to be the hardest part about the job. But since mine's cut, it's really easy for me because I don't really have to compress the rear control arm too much to get my spring out. But you guys will have a struggle doing this unless you take the sway bar link off. So I'm just using this pry bar. You can use anything that's similar to a pry bar. You kind of stick it in there like so, and then what you're doing is you're kind of just trying to push the control arm down so you can get your spring out. Pushing it down, and then you can pull your spring out. So mine will be really easy because it's cut and the spring's like half the size it used to be, but yeah, basically that's how you do it. Alright guys, now it's time to install the rear springs. These ones are going to go on the bottom, and then these guys will go up in the top like so. I'm going to take this apart, and I'm going to take this one ring out because I don't need it. This is going to be bottomed out. Alright, just going to put this bottom one in there. Just kind of sits on the existing rubber in there. Alright, this is going to be a two-hander. So right now I kind of got it just sitting on this jack stand here to compress the spring, and sitting in there nicely on both of the perches. So now we're gonna go ahead and install this guy. All right, now to install the new rear struts, it's definitely a lot easier to put the 18mm on the bottom first and then do the top ones. You know, it's just basically a reverse of what you took out already, so I'm sure you can figure it out. Make sure it's all tight. I'd put Loctite on at least the 18mm at the bottom, and then you can go ahead and adjust everything later once you got it all in the car. I'm gonna just put this rear strut in, and then we're gonna move on to the fronts. Alright, I got my rears in now, so I'm gonna go ahead and throw my wheel on and lower it and see where it sits right now, and then I'm probably just gonna adjust it to where I want it for now. So let's take a look at how that turns out. Alright, so that's definitely way higher than I want it to be. So I will have to adjust it, and then, but for now, it's good. So we're gonna move on to the fronts, put those in, and then basically I'm just doing one side each to kind of show you guys how to put them in, and then I'll just do the other stuff on my own time, you know? Alright, we're ready to install the front ones, and it's the same deal. Jack it up, take your wheel off, and then we'll go from there. First thing you're gonna wanna do is just get all these connections popped off of the old strut there. They kind of just pry off gently, and then we're gonna go ahead and turn our wheel full to the right, or sorry, full to the left, so that we can get to the bolts at the back easier. Alright, just like my spacer video for these little washers here, there's two 18 mils, one on each side, and then this is also 18 mil, I believe. So you're gonna wanna take all that off. Got some more 13 mils up here, and that's it, and the whole strut will come out. I had to give it a little persuasion to get this camber bolt, this one strut bolt out, the one that goes in a different way. As you can see, there's actually a special bolt that fits snug into the knuckle. It fits snug into there, so make sure you don't mess this thing up, because I'm sure it's not the easiest thing in the world to get a new one. All right, now that that's out, won't be needing these camber spacers anymore. Actually, I think I'm gonna keep them. I might need them for something, right? All right, now the fun part is installing the new ones. So, you know, reverse of what you just did. So now you got the old ones out, pop the new ones in. I would definitely put some medium strength Loctite on your bolts. All right, make sure you got all your little clips put back in there. Everything's all tightened up, and here's a key part here, is to make sure your camber plates are facing this way. All right, because you can install them the wrong way, but that's the way they're supposed to be. I'm gonna go ahead and adjust this and put it at max camber for now, just to see how it sits like that. So it's basically just undo these and push this in. Actually, I'm gonna have to undo these. I actually give you two more bolt holes to move these Allen keys out in different bolt holes, because these are, the strut towers get in the way. All right, so I moved those bolts a little bit so I can get more camber out of them. They give you two spots to put them in. So as you can see, sliding this moves the whole strut. So quite a noticeable difference there. So I'm gonna go ahead and max these out. All right, so this is definitely not my first set of coilovers, but it is my first set of coilovers with camber plates and dampening, which is really exciting to me, because I'm gonna be able to feel the difference of when I adjust it. And I think for starters, I'm gonna put it all the way to the softest you can on both front and rear, and then kind of work my way up from there and see how stiff I want it to be. And then I'll also mess with the camber just to see what I want it to be at. I probably want to run quite a bit on the front for drifting. And then the rear is a different story, because you can't adjust the camber without getting an adjustable rear control arm. So that's a problem I don't have yet, but I do have a whole subframe to rebuild, and that'll be a whole other project basically, because it's a rear subframe. I need to put a whole bunch of expensive bushings in it, and adjustable control arms. But for now, let's put my wheel back on, lower this down, see how much camber I got out of it, see how low it is going to be, and then I'll just go ahead, put all the rest in on the other side, and I'll go ahead and adjust it, and we'll do a test ride. So they're sitting pretty similar to how I had the car before. So I'm gonna lower it some more, but right off the bat, just pushing on this thing, I've got the lowering spring on the front on that one and the coilover on that, and this side is extremely stiff compared to the other side, so that's gonna be a huge difference on the track for me. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead, install the other side, and then I'll get it all adjusted, and we'll take it out, see what it looks like, take it for a test drive, and I'll give you my opinion on how it feels after that. Oh, it's actually the next day now. Last night got a little late for me. I spent the whole day in Vancouver and I was really tired. But I ended up getting all the coilovers installed, and I started adjusting them and all that stuff, and I couldn't get the rear as low as I wanted it to get. This is how they kind of want you to put it in. These are the adjustable pieces here. I ended up taking that bottom collar out and slamming this and installing it. Still wasn't low enough for me. Ended up taking both these collars off. Put just this threaded piece on top. That installed it all. Still can't get it as low as I want it to. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave those stock rubber pieces that are on top and bottom, and I'm just gonna install the spring. These are no use to me. So just installing the spring on the rears. I have the fronts maxed out. I didn't take any collars out of the front, and I also, from help from a buddy, told me I can put these bolts close together and max out the camber. So I got max negative camber in the front, and now I'm just kind of going to reinstall just the springs and see how it looks after that. All right, so I just got just the springs back in there, and I lowered the shock a bit more. So there's about 3 inches of thread, no, 3.5 inches of thread from the top of the where the thread stops on that shock to the bottom of the shock, not including the collar, if that makes any sense. So 3.5 inches there. It's sitting at a really good height. It's pretty much level with the front, so I'm really happy with that. I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing to the other side, and then I have one more little bonus part to add to the car, and then we'll take it for a test drive. Special bonus, putting this rear strut bar in here. So super easy. I was actually gonna make a separate video to do this, but it's kind of pointless to make a 2-minute video just to put a strut bar in. Brennan just got here. Where are you? I can't see. Oh, there you are.
Right here.
And we got lots to do on his car because a little something happened to him the other day. We'll explain that in a future video, but for now, let's put the strut bar in. So I'm just gonna start by taking these off. Like, this isn't the best quality strut bar, I know that, but just gonna take this bolt out, take these off, mount these onto the strut towers, and then I'm gonna go ahead and adjust the bar and bolt it all together. Strut bar installed, done. Alright, now that we got that installed, I'm gonna go ahead and try and twist it so it kind of pushes against the strut towers, if you know what I mean. So I'm just gonna tighten these up and it's done. Bing, bada, boom. Well, she's in. Sick. Alright, she's all complete here. I got the rear strut bar in. I got it all lowered to how I want it to, and I have all the dampening set to the softest level, which is fully left for now. And I'll kind of work my way up from there and see where I like it for drifting and whatnot. But for now, we're just gonna go take it for a test drive and see how it feels. So right off the bat, this thing feels 100 times better. So much stiffer, but it's actually more comfortable for some reason, which is weird. But I'm super happy with these coils. I'm gonna mess around with the dampening settings and see how I like it, but definitely worth it. It's gonna make a huge difference when I'm drifting on the track. Like, it's gonna be insane.
This little skid pad? Look at this little thing. A perfect little skid pad. Just like, it literally feels so solid, it's ridiculous. Oh,
Holy shit, I'm so dizzy.
that happens.
Like a fucking chunk out.
Alright guys, we're back. The car feels absolutely amazing. It's like 100 times better. I can't wait to bring it to the track and try it out and mess with the dampening, but that'll be all for today's video. We're pulling in Brennan's car right now to do some work to his because we gotta get it sorted out. But thank you for watching. If you liked it, please drop a like and subscribe. I'd much appreciate it, and we'll catch you in the next video. Bye.